Hey, home theater nerds, we're here. I say we, and it just me. So, hey, I got to get used to this for Saturday. So this really is a true live stream, live preview of what's to come in the 24-hour home theater podcast. Todd's supposed to be joining me. This isn't a gimmick. He's not waiting backstage. He's got issues on his side. So it's just me. So I was like, why would I wait? I have to do this on Saturday. If he's not there or somebody doesn't show, I've got to stall. So we won't stall. Any good questions? Eddie Trochez in the chat. Hey DJ. Hey, how you doing, Eddie? Hi Greg. Hi Scruffy. Scruffy, what you were on at 7:23, so almost 40 minutes ago. You haven't gotten enough of me? We were on yesterday. We have that. I'm going to be 25 hours this weekend. I appreciate it. It's awesome. And yeah. So any questions, anything? I guess I'll break this out now. I was going to wait for, no, I'll wait for Todd. I got a little something fun that, tweak of the week that I'll elaborate on Saturday. We'll elaborate on, hey, Jack. And we'll elaborate. And Paul, hey, Deej, he says, hey, mate from Jack. Hey, Paul. Hey, Jack. How you doing? I had a buddy named Jack. Hi, Jack. Don't say that in an airport. Double A, looking forward to, now, is that batteries or looking forward to Saturday's stream? Me too. So excited for Saturday. I told people last week I wanted to have the schedule done by Monday. I'm about 3 slots away from having it completed, and it's more of like some people are super flexible. They just have that day available. Other people can only do certain, so I'm constantly sliding things around. Dealing with so many time zones. We have people obviously from Europe, potentially. We go as far as, actually, we go around the globe. We have people in Australia, but nobody from Australia is joining us Saturday. But basically all around the globe, dealing with all the, I don't want to give away who's on just in case people can't make it. But yeah, it's pretty much, you know where I don't have somebody from? Hawaii. I don't know why that's a big deal, but not that it is, but it's like, that's the part of the world that I don't have somebody. It's like pretty much from California all the way around the other direction. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. We have people coming in that are going to be, where's Todd? Let me hang on a second. See if he's texted me. Nope. He's busy working, trying to get on to this. Yeah, people, it's over 30 people, 25 hours. It's well over 30. I lost track because I started slotting people in. But I know I have people double booked to an hour. I have 1 hour is triple booked. It's really cool. That's going to be a really fun one. And then I have people that are just going to pop in and say hello from here and there. So it's, I'm so excited to do it. I'm so excited to talk home theater. Anybody watching that, like I said, after it's all said and done, it'll all be there. But then I will add the timestamps sometime Sunday or Monday when I wake up and I get a chance, when I get an opportunity to actually add it in, because I have them all there, but I have everything written down. But I will add the timestamps to each segment so that you'll be able to go to each hour and you can watch it at your leisure, which hour is which. And then in the future, I'll probably be borrowing from that to do some audio only, takeover Tuesdays if I'm in a pinch or something. I know next week's Takeover Tuesday is going to be Todd and I's, the bookends, just so I don't have to, because I've been pretty busy doing this. I was just thinking before I was getting on, I'm like, this would be a lot of fun if I could just do the weekend part. I mean, this has been fun scheduling it and talking with everybody, but it would be fun in the future to have like somebody set it up. And then all I have to do is show up and talk for 25 hours. But, I guess that's when you go pro, right? Kind of like a pro athlete. They just show up and their equipment's laid out for them and everything. I still have to tie my skates. I haven't made it that far yet. But yeah, no, I'm just kidding. It's been a blast talking with everybody. People coming out and saying they want to be on, and it's been awesome. Um, what are you guys' expectations in the chat? Like somebody said to me today, I can't wait to see how you look at the end of this. And I was like, what do you think? I'm not gonna go roll around in the mud. I'm like, what do you think's gonna happen? My hair's not that long. It's not like I can get like it takes me days to grow a beard, or not even a beard, to just even get anything to show. So it's not like I have a buddy that if he doesn't shave by 5 o'clock in the day, you could tell the difference. I'm like, what am I gonna look like? I don't know. I was like, he's like, yeah, you'll be surprised how scruffy you can get in 24 hours. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be that bad. But the thing I am worried about, is it gonna go smooth? We're dealing with tech. You never know. I mean, if internet goes down, um, what do I do? I can jump on probably through cellular on my phone. Hopefully the stream is still there. There may be some improvising, but hopefully everything goes smooth. Hopefully tech-wise, everything keeps up. I did some testing today. I am able to run multiple streams at a time. So when I go from one stream to the next stream, because this will be broken up into 3 streams, and let me see. I'm gonna tell Todd, I'm on. There he come. There he is. Oh, geez.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can all see you. I am live. I've been pontificating all by myself.
That's good. See, it took me so long because I had to fill up this
Right. Yeah.
cup, and I've been filling it for like the last 10 years.
Right. Yeah. You had to call the fire truck.
Right. Yeah. No,
Oh.
this is my beautiful workshop setup. I'm hiding down here tonight because I'm flying solo this week, and I've
Oh.
got my 2 dogs running
Oh yeah.
rampant around the house. And I know if I'm anywhere else in this house, they're going to create a ruckus. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know it so well. So, yeah.
How's
No,
it
I
going?
just was good. It's going really good. No, this is actually great. That I know. I told everybody, I'm like, this isn't a joke. Todd's not waiting in the background. We're not setting something up like for practice. I'm like, this is legit. He's still setting up his gear. So, but no,
Yep.
this is a good test for Saturday because this is stuff that can happen. People come in and tech happens, and we've got to be prepared for that. So,
So, did you tell everybody you're going 45 hours? Have you spilled those beans yet?
I haven't gotten that many people. No, I didn't spill those. I did say that in the show yesterday for people that don't know. So Todd and I have been texting back and forth, and what was it? Last week I texted you and I'm like, this is insane. I have over 30 people. And I had already thought it myself, and his first reply to me was, well, you gotta go 30 hours. I was like, I know.
That's going to be really, I mean, 24 is going to be hard enough. 25,
See,
you're pushing
I
the envelope.
I haven't told you the list yet, right? You don't know the schedule.
No.
No, because we have. So I'll tell you the schedule later.
Okay.
But
You're
I
not
don't want
revealing it
no
beforehand?
because I want, in case anybody has to drop out and something happens, I don't want anybody to feel bad or anything. Plus, I want people to be like, you know, it. Tune in whenever. You never know who you're going to get, right? If you start
Yeah.
scheduling people are like, I can skip him. Can't skip me. I'm in all of it.
Right. That's right.
The,
Yeah. Nobody's
the
skipping
only
you.
Yeah, the only thing that they might want to, um, the only one they know is you. Is you're at the beginning, you're bookending it. So,
That's right.
I let me
And
ask you: are
yeah,
you all set? Because when I made the schedule, I realized what you signed up for, and you're on at 5 a.m.
I'm
Because
up
I
usually
okay,
4:15 every morning. So
okay, because
yeah.
I was like, I'm going till 6 a.m. So it wasn't like you're starting at 6 a.m. on Saturday, and then you're starting at 5 a.m. And I'm making this clear, and it's recorded on a live stream. 5 a.m. for the home stretch on Sunday morning.
Yep. I'll
You're
be
good
there.
for. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Um.
Unless a
Yeah.
meteorite hits my
Uh,
house,
It could be anything. It
I
could
will
be
be there. No, I mean,
internet
I'm in town this
issues.
weekend, so
Yeah. Okay.
yep. Looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
I know. I am too. And I was just telling the viewers, I was like, I was talking to somebody today and he was like, I can't wait to see what you look like at the end of this. And I was like, I'm not wrestling. I'm not like going out rolling around in the mud. I'm like, what's gonna happen to me? I'm like, it takes me a week to grow some scruff. I'm like, it's like, I'm like, it's not like I'm gonna lay down. But he was
You
like,
need one of those NASA diapers. I think we talked about this. Now I'm having a.
we
Did we talk
did.
about this?
Yeah, we did. We were
That
joking
crazy
about
lady that
that.
drove from Texas to Florida to
Yeah.
intercept like your husband's girlfriend or whatever. Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah, no, I'll be okay. I'm like I have like I was just telling people I have a bunch of hours of double booked. I have one
Hmm.
hour that's triple booked. I have all
Wow.
the crossovers. So I have plenty of opportunities to be able to like, hey guys, I just gotta go use I'll run up and use the bathroom or something.
Right.
Um, I don't eat a lot anyways, so I'm not worried about that. And it's the less I eat, the better off I am anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, if you fed me a turkey dinner at like 6 p.m., I would be asleep by 8. Yeah.
Tryptophan and
Yeah.
that would just
There we
knock you
go.
out.
I want it is November 1st. I wanted to be, we could be the first ones to say tryptophan this month.
That's right.
Um, but yeah, so and I was telling you in when we were texting earlier, I'm like, people were in the chat at like we had Scruffy here was in the chat at 7:23 today,
Oh, Scruffy.
40 minutes before this show. So it's like,
Sorry, brother.
no, no, oh no, we weren't
Right.
going on for an hour till 8, but I'm like, I love the enthusiasm of the home theater community. It's like
Oh,
people are excited for this. We're excited for this.
I'm
Um,
excited for this. I can't believe it's going to happen.
uh,
It's fantastic.
did you not think this would happen when you said that?
No, I never in a million years thought you'd be like, okay, I'll do it.
So let's rehash that a little bit for because we have gained a whole bunch of followers since then because that was what well, instead of me squinting at stuff, let me show everybody this little thing. Take a look at your screen there, Todd. Oh, look at you, Todd.
Glasses.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a
I got them
revelation. Are they new
today.
today? Oh, wow. What'd you get? Progressives or?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're progressive so I can like read my phone and I can stuff we'll talk about if we don't get to it Saturday, it'll definitely be in my tweak of the week for next week.
Yeah.
Um, but just a quick setup, like my vision's not bad. It was like even I haven't been to the eye doctors since I was 16 years old
Wow.
and I'm 53.
Right.
And
Right.
I go into the eye doctor and he's like, I know you. I go, yeah, I've been bringing my kids here for like 15 years. So
Oh, that's great.
I do the eye chart and everything, and I passed every line except for the last line I passed. He goes, but we can improve that. And then that's basically like one of my eyes is 20/20, the other one's 20/25.
Oh, you're
But
so
I have
lucky.
astigmatism,
Uh-huh.
so that adds like a little bit of blur to everything.
Yep.
And they got rid of that, and oh boy, I can't wait to talk about that in the home theater aspect because it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I'm right there in the same boat with you. I had been wearing readers for
Hmm.
like 3 years. But last year, I think it was sometime between Christmas time and New Year's, I was driving home and I was realizing I just couldn't see the road signs as well
Mm.
as I should be seeing them. And I went right to the eye doctor, and sure enough, I ended up with these progressive
Yeah.
glasses. Also, it takes a month or so to get used to wearing them.
Yeah. My doctor
Uh,
told me, he goes, sit down and like binge watch your favorite series on Netflix. I go, can I get that in writing? like, can I get that
yes,
prescription,
permission. Right.
please?
Well, did you
Like,
notice it makes your screen bigger?
it does.
Have you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
slightly. It's like moving 2 feet closer for me.
exactly. Yeah,
And yeah, and yeah, like I said, I'll get into it more later. But it's like, yeah, there is. I learned a lot, and it actually gives me some analogies for some other stuff going forward as well.
mm,
Um, but it's one of those things that you're just like, you have one reality. Now I'm like, oh wow, look at this reality.
yeah.
Like this is nice now. So,
Yeah, but I had 20/20 vision pretty much my entire life up until the 4 years ago when things started reading wise getting
mm,
blurry. And now it's to the point where
yeah,
I can't read without reading glasses. Everything is just so blurred. And I'm sure there's more to come on that front.
yeah. Look at Eddie in the chat. I'm in total denial when it comes to wearing glasses.
Don't be in
Yeah,
denial, Eddie.
yeah, no, it's like I was I had better than 2020 when I was
Hmm.
16, and I was even 5 years ago. I remember we were at some dinner or something that gave away these little glasses, and in them was like little fortune cookie papers or something. Nobody at the table could read them, but they're like, "Here, give it to DJ," and I'd be like, "Bang, boom, no problem." And here we are 5 years later, and I'm like, "There's writing on there? What? I couldn't. My reading went down." But
Yes.
driving is always fine, everything. So, even like I was concerned at the doctor. I asked him, I'm like, how am I for my driving test? Do I have to clean? He goes, no. And they have like he has like a TV and it's got all the tests on it. And he goes, boom, he changes it. He goes, driving's 20/40. You'll pass that in your sleep. Don't worry about it. You can drive without glasses. He goes, your vision's fine. And I go, we're just refining it. And he goes, perfect. We're refining it. I'm like, okay.
There you go.
So
Tweaking it up so you can enjoy movies all the
exactly. And
better.
then I went to
Yeah.
get the glasses and I'm like, are there upgrades? What can I do with these things?
I know. It's
Like,
so tempting.
oh, yeah.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah. But Eddie, yeah, in the chat is I know you might be in denial and deny as long as you want. That's it. And I'm saying that seriously because one day you'll eventually do it. And when you do it, I've been looking forward to it because of the home theater. And it's like we tweak our systems, we do all this stuff, and then but if you're not taking care of like what you're taking this in with, you're not getting the full effect anyways.
Yeah.
So if you can get if you get your eyes checked regularly and you do that, and it's like, and I've wanted to do it, I just haven't had the time. But my eyes have gotten so bad, I was just like, I said to my wife like a month ago, I was like, just make the appointment whenever it is, I will be there. And I'm glad I did. I've been super excited to get it done. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Eddie, wait as long as you want. And it's just that when you do get it, you'll be like, whoa.
Right. And if you really need glasses,
Yeah.
you'll know it. Your body will tell you. You just won't be
Yeah.
able to
Because,
see things.
yeah,
And that's,
especially when you walk into a wall.
yeah. I mean, it's to the point, like I was saying, I go to a restaurant, I can't read the
Mm,
menu.
hmm.
Um, I'm the guy with the flashlight out,
Yeah.
my
No, you,
phone
you,
trying
you
to,
do the phone thing like, oh, I'm done. And you're magnifying take a picture of the menu and then magnify on it.
hmm.
Yeah. I was like, why do they make this writing so small? So
Yep.
this is
Eddie,
the
48, 2 more
This is
years, buddy.
this is the home theater old guys preview.
That's
It's
right.
like,
Old, but not so old, I'll say.
no, no, no. So,
Probably two of the youngest old people you
Shane,
meet.
24 hours. Shane Lee in the chat. Whoa, 24 hours. I'm tired after one.
I agree.
So I'm gonna say I'll tell you off air. I saw something the other day, and I'll save it for our last hour. I just don't want to jinx us. If I remember it in our last hour. I might not remember everything. You might be carrying me the last hour. I might be a little punchy. But yeah,
That's why you're bringing in
Shane,
the
thanks
big
for
guns,
joining.
right?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. You're bringing in the closer. It's like, ugh.
You'll just see your
Um,
attendance like.
well, I'm excited to see what it's like in the middle of the night. You know, we don't, I mean, it's not like I said, we have passionate people. We don't have huge numbers, but we have consistent numbers. And it'll be funny to see what our numbers are like in the middle of the night. Not that I expect people to be there, but I'm actually expecting like a couple of zeros here and there in the middle of the night. But, and I don't mean that by people. I mean, as in the count of people in the room.
Right.
Not calling my listeners zeros. Um, but yeah, it would be it it but it's all going to be there later. I've had a lot of people asking me that and wondering, "Oh, can I see it later if I miss something?" I'm like, "It's always there on YouTube. Streaming on YouTube. Right where you're watching this, you'll be watching that."
I say, Brightsiders, if you are real home theater fans, you'll show up for all 25 hours. I mean,
I'm the only one you can get like that. Everybody else just goes, "Shut up, Todd." It worked once. You got me. It's
right.
like, but it'll always work with me. It's like I've done some dumb things. This isn't
Well,
the dumbest thing I've ever done.
have you looked up the world record for longest continuous podcast?
No, but I gotta imagine this is going to be the longest continuous home theater one.
Yeah.
If we're let's narrow it with me in it.
Let's just say hypothetically that 25 hours goes by really easily. We might have to have you go for the world record.
Why? What did you just Google it?
No, I'm Googling it right now.
Yeah.
But
Why would
let's
anybody
see.
put that as a record? Although there are some weird records.
Oh, forget it. 153 hours.
By one person?
A Dutch team.
Yeah, team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody can do that.
Anybody can do
Put
that.
put a
Exactly.
team together. You go in 8-hour shifts.
Yeah.
Why'd they stop? They ran
Yeah,
out of team
exactly.
members.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's weak sauce right there. If they did it as a team.
As a team, yeah. Yeah. So,
I'd
I
back you
mean,
though, DJ.
to be fair, I'm doing it as a team too, because I'm not doing it solely by myself. Oh, I just gave myself a thumbs up. I learned that the other day. You
Yeah,
can,
how'd you do that?
I don't know. Did I do this? I don't know. I did it in my Zoom chat. I was in my Patreon Zoom chat, and I
Uh-huh.
did something like this, and all of a sudden balloons went up all around me. And I was asking everybody, I'm like, what the hell just happened? How did I do that? I still don't know how I did it. And it was really cool because I was sitting right where I am now. And they
Do you
came
think
up
it was a
like,
hand motion? Like
I
a
think so. You saw the thumb up on me, right?
yeah.
A thumbs up. Yeah, Joe, it's a thumbs up in public. Yeah,
It looked like
Joe.
a
Thanks,
little
buddy.
bubble
Yeah, a bubble, but I
that
don't know if I
appeared.
did it or like, see, I'm trying to do the gestures. I talk with my hands anyways, and I'm not even
Huh,
Italian.
weird.
Um, yeah. So, what was I saying? But yeah, the balloons came up all around me, but like some came up from behind my seat. It was like 3D. Like it
Oh,
knew
cool.
like the area I was in. It looked pretty cool.
Oh,
And
that's
then
awesome.
oh, Paul Hurt
Oh,
found one for solo podcast. 56 hours is the record apparently.
that's doable.
Oh yeah. But
Well, let's see
let's
how you
warm
feel
up
after 25.
after 25. Yeah, we're going to stop at 25, 25.5, something like that. There is somebody, I heard there was an over under going for how long extra I go.
Need medical attention straight after. How about during?
I'm sitting there like this with IVs. Let's
Right.
go.
It's like that ultra marathon where they have you check in every 4 hours. Right?
Yeah.
Do a
Yeah,
blood
exactly.
test.
Yeah.
Take your vitals.
It would actually, oh man, I don't even, hey, Mikey Schramm, happy Wednesday. Thanks, buddy. Um, I don't want to jinx and dare myself, but I like see how the 25 goes.
Yeah.
You probably could do as many people as I get and just like go by the hour and be like boom, 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 boom. But that would be dangerous.
That might not technically qualify though as a solo podcast
That's true
if you have
too, because I
guests.
have people on. Yeah,
Could you talk to yourself for 57 hours about home theater?
I do it now. What do you think I do at work all day? What do you think I do all day? I mean, I am in my own head. I'm like, I don't think anybody wants to hear that though.
No, I know.
It's like I was saying the other day,
Uh,
somebody was asking me like, have I decided on my screen yet? I'm like, well, it depends on, like, just the other day I'm in the shower and I'm thinking and I'm like, I changed my mind 3 times in the time it took me to take a shower. And I'm like,
your
what
screen
the?
meaning your background?
No, my screen for my new theater.
It's your screen for your new theater.
Yeah,
Okay.
am I home? Like, am I going acoustically transparent? Am I going standard? Am I going this? How 150, 130? What? It's like, and what I basically said, and I'm sure this will all come up Saturday too, but it's, and I'm sure you know what it's like. If you're ready to buy a piece, you do a little research, or you do your research, you make your decision, and then you live with it, right? And it's like, you're like,
Hmm.
yes, all right, I got this. And then you're like, you get it home, you put it in, you live with it, you're happy, and you move on. I have I am so far from installing that all I'm doing is like I'm I'm like thinking like, okay, this will be good. Oh, what about this? So you know what and I'm replacing everything.
Hmm.
So like in this theater, once you've had your theater, I've had this one. I've had the luxury of having this for 20 years. So if I
Right.
wanted to upgrade something, you thought of one piece for a little while, and then that was it. And you were like, oh, okay. I'm going to upgrade this. How's that going to work in my system? And that was at your leisure, like as you needed it. Now all of a sudden to need every single piece and be like, it's information overload, and I'm not even there yet, and I'm changing my mind. You know.
Right. Well, I mean, you're going to have to make some decisions soon, though. Do you have like an ETA for when the grand opening is going to happen?
Well, I went the last 3 weeks. I've been trying to get somebody to pour the foundation, and then
Okay.
yesterday I got 2 people. They both
Oh,
called me
wow.
back at the same time.
Okay.
So I finally got my first quote today, and my second quote should be coming in any day now. Um, Within weeks, we will literally be pouring a foundation, and then that's
Wow.
when the ball can start rolling. I would expect the house to be done. Um, I'm shooting April, May, to be in it. And then from there, it'll probably be like paint on the walls downstairs in the theater area and stuff. So
Yeah.
there'll still be work to be done for sure, especially downstairs. But the inside of the theater, once my wife can live comfortably, my parents, of course, will be comfortable as soon as they get in. Um,
Hmm.
and then the priority would be to get the inside of the theater rock solid done, and then start working on the entertainment area outside, and which could take, I don't know, see how enthusiastic I am after the whole house.
Yeah.
But
So, are
definitely
you
next
planning some
summer.
kind of a entryway or like a hangout area outside of the
Oh
theater?
yeah, yeah. I have outside the theater will be it'll have like a wet bar, sports bar type area,
Uh huh.
and
Awesome.
then an entertainment area my wife wants with like a sectional couch and stuff for the grandkids, big screen TVs, video game console. She doesn't want that. I want that.
Hmm.
um, so yeah, well, it's and then it'll have a bathroom right there by the theater, and then right on the other side of that will be my gym, and
Awesome.
that's the downstairs. So
That sounds like quite the complex. Everything you need right in one area of the
yeah,
house.
well, because we're doing a ranch, so it's like you have it affords a big foundational area, big basement area. And
Yeah.
in New England, we have that. So I'm lucky enough that, the house I'm living in is 36 by 35, but
Hmm.
it's just a ranch. So that's all
Yeah.
we have upstairs. And then underneath it is basically my basement. And that's exactly what I'll have, except for the one area where my gym will be behind the garage.
Right.
is a basement area. So,
What are you gonna do with your gym? Have you
oh yeah, yeah. I got 9 foot ceilings. I can't
awesome.
wait. I'm thinking sport court. I'm gonna have a hockey net in there, shooting practice. It's gonna be about
Sweet.
24 feet long, only 11 feet wide, but that's enough for shooting and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'll have mostly dumbbells. I'll have a rack, pull-up bars, stuff like that. All body weight stuff
Sweet.
at this age.
Uh-huh.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, gym's a very important thing to have.
Oh yeah. I, I I have a tiny one right now. I've had it in my house for it's the smallest bedroom in my upstairs.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, it's let's see, Eddie, let's see, Eddie, DJ, can you talk about the equipment you're thinking about installing? Hmm. Um, Thinking about that might take
Barcode
the 20.
projector, right?
Yeah, what's funny is people, I don't know why. I got a comment the other day from Carl, and people think the Barco's are super bright, and the Barco Braggy isn't. It's not bright at all. It's
Hmm.
actually slight. It's if you look them up under Projector Central, the Barco Braggy, which is the one that I could afford, is it's it's just behind at 32 lumens. Is that what they go by on there on Projector
Yeah,
Central when they do?
lumens.
So
Yeah.
there, that shoots at at 20 feet, which is what I'm shooting. It would on whichever size screen it was. It was 32 lumens. The Sony would have been 34, and the JVC is 36.
Hmm.
So it's not the
Wow.
light cannon that people think it is.
Yeah.
It's because it's DLP that makes it. That's what you're paying for, is the
Hmm.
DLP technology.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't think I'll go with that. I mean, it is a dream machine to me, but that's a lot of money, and the Sonys and JVCs are pretty much right there, anyways. And
They're
um,
all a lot of money when you really get down to brass tacks.
yeah, but when you go from a JVC and a Sony and double it for basically the same thing,
Yeah.
you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And
I agree.
I know what you're doing. I know what it is, but um, um, yeah. So Greg in the chat saying both 3200 lumen, but you got to look at the throw distances and the screen size, and they all, when you look at projectors, they have different abilities at different distances and screen sizes.
Hmm.
One of the interesting things is I found if you and I only found it because I went from doing a 130-inch screen to a 150-inch screen, and the higher up you go, the closer the Sony gets to the JVC, and then there is a passing by point. So
Really?
yeah, it was weird. For some
Hmm.
reason, like the Sony can throw a longer distance, but the JVC is a brighter one at closer. It was weird how that did that. So,
It's got to
and the
do with the
brag,
lenses.
yeah. So whatever it is. So it's like you can't just go by the actual statistic, and that's why. And even going by Projector Central, that's just another metric to see. Like, okay, like it's not necessarily indicative of real world in your environment, but it is
Yeah.
another metric to say, all right, and it isn't like the company's numbers, right? So it's
Right.
like somebody else said, okay, we measured this at this, and this is what it would be like. And the other thing is on Projector Central, that number that they're giving you is this is what you like for HDR, you want to be in this range in a well lit room, and none of us are using, or at least you're not using these type of projectors in a well lit room. We're
Right.
using them
Okay.
in a well controlled room, which actually ups all of that. So,
True.
but yeah, yep. And Eddie says in the chat, foot Lamberts at the installed distance is what you need to know. Yes, yeah. And the other thing is and I can't stress this enough because it's what I stress all the time on my show, is that it's real world experience too. It's like you can read all the stuff you want and you can look it all up, and it's when you get it and see it. And I've had I've had people have all different projectors and they're like, I tried that one and I just didn't like it after having the other brand for so long. And it goes in
Hmm.
both directions of all the different brands. So there's no wrong answer. But at the same time, there's no right answer either. So it's just whatever your tastes are, get the experiences you want. And like I've said, it's like once I usually get something, I'm like, that's the best. And I love it and live with it. And it's like when you're doing what I'm doing right now, it's like I don't get to live with it, so I gotta love it until I think of another idea. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, like among the brands you're looking at, you can't really make, like you say, a wrong choice.
mm,
Your job is to make the choice and then not look back. You'll
absolutely.
drive yourself crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's I've done a good job of that. And that's what helps it be, quote, bright side. You don't look back and go, oh, am I missing? You don't get FOMO afterwards. Do it
Right.
now when you're having fun and you haven't made a choice. You just keep looking and looking. And then when you make your choice, don't look back. And it's like, and we see, you and I see that all the time. You hear about it all the time. People are like, I just bought this. What do you think? Well, you should have talked to me before. Not that I think you made a
Right.
bad, not that I think I would never say anybody made a bad choice, but if you're asking after the fact, why are you asking after the fact? You know what I
Right.
mean? That's what makes me nervous is if you have a question, you might think something's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. What do I think? Go enjoy it. That's what I, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, exactly.
make a
Exactly. What's your
choice,
favorite
stick with it,
content?
and
Watch it. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
um,
I mean, I think a lot of people lose sight of how lucky, you are if you're looking at any kind of decent gear. It's a luxury item.
this whole home theater
Like
thing is a
it's
luxury
not,
item,
yeah, it's not a
you
life
know?
or death.
Nope.
You see, just look at the craziness of our world right now. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we're pretty lucky to be able to spend an hour tonight talking about something like this,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. And that's what I do. And that's why like when we have that coming up in the 25 hours, I have somebody coming on and we're going to be talking, we're going to have some fun with some home theater stuff, some movie stuff, some contradicting opinions. But we're also going to get to some real world stuff in our donation for November and what we do. And I do it every November with him. So I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, it is. I mean, this is the sandbox of life and
Oh,
I mean
totally,
and this is
thousand
not
percent.
only that, it's so like we're just so lucky, and that's why I wanted to do the monthly thing because when I was coaching hockey I thought the same thing. I look at these kids out there and these kids don't understand, they're literally skating around the ice with $1,000 on their backs and in equipment and skates and sticks and helmet and all that, and
Yeah,
it's like just you'd be like, I want to teach them like, okay, let's go to a soup kitchen or something and show like how privileged we and how lucky we are,
yeah,
Um, nothing
yeah.
wrong with
Really,
it. Just know your
really,
place.
really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to keep a positive outlook sometimes with I mean, just this past couple weeks have been really tough,
Yeah.
especially up your way. I mean,
Yep.
you guys had a real tragedy. It's nice to have things like home theater, fun hobbies, whatever else you
Yeah.
do as a hobby to kind of distract and help you live kind of in your own little world.
Well, it's not even a joke. Didn't we do that? We all joked about that with COVID in our days. I made the T-shirt, the COVID bunker, and it's like
Right.
we like it's funny. We're like I talked about it in the show all during COVID. Even like obviously I was by myself at the time, but it's like as home theater people, I think why this group is so passionate is because we're used to being alone we're kind of like a little hermits in our theaters, whether even
Hmm.
if it's a living room theater, right? You just like you love to hunker down and go over content and watch stuff and look for things but you're in your own little world, regardless of a dedicated room or not, right? So then
Yep.
when like COVID hit, you're like, oh wait, I can stay here? Okay. So we were the
Right.
ones that were like, all right, I can adapt to this,
Right.
right? So and now it's like, but then you also see this side of it, like this home theater community, how passionate it is. We're like, I can talk to people about this. Like, there's more people like me, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we're a rarity. Well, I mean,
That's
let's
an
be honest here.
understatement.
We're a rarity. You know, it's funny.
Hmm.
I on Twitter or X or what do you call it? Twitter?
Yeah,
X?
I still call it Twitter. I don't know.
Somebody posted a video from within a video store in Australia. Did you see that?
No,
Showing all the aisles of discs for sale.
no,
You didn't see that today?
no. Oh, I wasn't on Twitter today. Seriously, Todd, I've been either working, getting new glasses, or scheduling for
Okay.
Saturday.
Wait.
I'm
There you
like,
go.
can you go there? Yeah, I can do that. All right, I can only do that hour. Okay, can you slide to this hour? Okay. So, okay,
Right.
but go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have to check. I'll see if I can find it. I'll send you a
Yeah,
link
yeah.
to look at it. What I thought was funny though is it's this amazing looking store. All these shelves just stocked, but there's like one person shopping in there. And I'm like, there you go.
And that's
Of
why
course, it
Disney
could have
pulled
been
out.
10 a.m. in the morning, right?
Right.
But
But isn't that like Disney pulled out of Australia? They're, the
yeah,
population there. And I feel bad for the people like us in Australia because we are a limited group. So
yeah.
Australia, for all intents and purposes, voted out physical media, and it's like, I mean, but that's the way it is. So it's like, if the people in the area aren't buying it, it's, I don't blame the companies. I don't blame the people. It's just,
Hmm.
that's the way it goes. That's why I buy 6 copies of Bloodshot.
You guys had a very interesting conversation about whether this was the death of physical media. I know
Yeah.
some folks have gotten really prickly about whether or not it's dying or not. I think it's
No.
just it's sort of the end of its relevancy. It'll still be around, but it's largely become
Mm.
irrelevant. At least
I
in
don't know
the
about
area that
that.
I live in. I don't know anybody that buys discs.
See, but that's the thing, is we don't have the common places to buy them anymore, so it's harder. Just like saying you don't know anybody that's into home theater, so you have to come to a group like this, and we talk to people all over the world that love it, right?
Right, but there was a time
Hmm.
where everybody was going and buying discs or renting discs, right? Just like everybody was going and buying compact discs or tapes.
Right, but that was the
Um,
only way to do it. But now
right.
you
Streaming
stream,
is yeah,
right?
and that's what most people are doing with movies now, TV,
Right.
I say TV
But
shows, but
did did you do Laserdisc?
I did not do Laserdisc.
Okay,
I was
so
Betamax,
uh,
then VHS.
so Laserdisc was probably, I would think, the smallest of all the mediums so far in
Mhm.
popularity, right?
Yeah.
And that, I wouldn't say thrived, but that was a lot of fun. Being a Laserdisc collector back then, it's like it was limited places you could buy it. It was a small group. That was like kind of like what we've built here in this home theater community. It was similar to that back then. You walked into
Right.
the store and it was a Laserdisc store. So you walked in, everybody there had the same common goals and the same ideas, and there was fun conversations. But when DVD came out, Laserdisc went away, and then
Hmm.
DVD caught on with the masses, so it kind of grew from there. Then Blu-ray grew. Yeah, this 25 hours is gonna be fun. Um, then Blu-ray grew from there, and then 4K has kind of come back down to where I would say it's more popular than Laserdisc was, but it's people find it to be disappointing because it's not what DVD and Blu-ray were or are,
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
And I think because we're on that, people think, I don't think we're on the downside. I don't think it's going to go away. I just think it's not for the masses anymore, whereas
Right.
Blu-ray and DVD were,
And that's what
right?
I mean by irrelevant. It's
I don't think it's irrelevant. I just don't think it's
hmm.
it's not. irrelevant to me means it doesn't matter. And I think physical media does matter. It has its place. Just like if they're selling projectors and they're selling receivers and they're selling speaker sets, they're going to be selling physical media because people are going to be wanting to access the best that they can get out of all of those things. You know, it's like I don't
Mm,
think we're all going to, unless streaming gets that good. And then, and this is my other thing, I'm not afraid of physical media going away because the only way it's going to go away completely is if there's something better. And that's always a good thing.
yeah. Yeah, I guess, well, within, I would say I agree with you somewhat. I don't think it's definitely not irrelevant within home theater circles, but I think the
Mm,
general populace, they don't think about discs at all.
no.
They're streaming, and I think that's probably got to be 90% of the population that watches movies are probably streaming at this point, unless you're living in the middle of rural America and you don't have access to being able to stream something effectively. But um I don't know. I just
Yeah.
I kind of look at it like compact discs for me. I don't buy compact discs. Um I listen
Right.
to a lot of music, but I stream it.
Yeah.
Um and I guess
Okay.
an argument could be made that, well, you can stream better than CD quality, which is true.
Yeah.
Um but I think a lot of people now look at movies in the way that we, or I look at music, where, hey, it's
Right.
much easier just to go on and watch it off HBO or Netflix or buy it off
Right.
Comcast or whatever you're,
Right.
sourcing media into your home.
Right.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see it disappear even more than just Best Buy. Now, somebody I read somewhere or heard somewhere that Best Buy actually made up a very small segment of the
Yeah.
retail sector for discs.
Probably. I think Amazon's pretty big. We have all of these, you know, small studios putting out, you know, steel box sets and
Yeah.
steel book sets and people doing 4K restorations still
Hmm.
and that's what I mean. I go comparative when you're on the upswing, it always looks great. But as soon as you're on the downswing, or on you know you start declining a little bit and your numbers are better than they were 10 years ago, but you're still like, wow, it's irrelevant. No, it's just. And the other thing, like I said, Laserdisc. Now here's a great comment, and Eddie buddy, I'm not picking on you. Laserdisc was like the mini disc, cool, but nobody cared. And it's statements like that that nobody cared. I
Well,
loved Laserdisc. And that's what people think. It's like, and I'm saying that's what you see all over the internet. And it's like people say, oh, nobody likes that. I'm like, no, I did. People like it. It's just not as big. But I don't care how many people like what I have or what I like, what I'm into, as long as it's there. So as long as we keep supporting it and the numbers support it, it will be there. And like I said, if they're making projectors, they're making home theater products, we need content to go along with it, right? If people are spending money on these systems, there will be a media for us to play through, to play with, you know.
hopefully. Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Well, I mean, just look at Samsung's decision to stop making 4K disc players. I mean, it's definitely a segment in decline.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I
I
also
don't
think
think
that
it's going to go away though completely,
no. Mm-mm.
but it's definitely not a moneymaker for these
The
companies, because if it was, they would be pumping them out and selling them and
yeah,
setting up displays and the whole nine
right.
yards.
Um, yeah, TJ in the chat says he says I read Best Buy accounted for roughly 5% of
Yeah,
physical
that's about
media
what I heard
sales.
too.
Right. And but yeah,
The
it's
others got to be Amazon and Walmart, right? I mean,
Amazon, Walmart is pretty big. Um, and it's I just think and that, like I said before a few minutes ago, if physical goes away, it's because we stop buying it because something is better.
mhm.
Because we'll still have our systems. You know, we'll still have like I don't buy as much physical. I still buy physical of like the big things that I really like, but most of the stuff I buy is Kaleidoscape. But I do think like you mentioned Samsung, the other part is there's not a lot of progress being made either because we're
No.
kind of at the point of like how much more can we do that are like we were talking earlier about our glasses, but it's like you can't get too much better that's perceivable.
Yeah.
So we're kind of at that, and when streaming catches up, physical will go away. I get that, but there will still be collector sets. There still will be stuff for us. I don't think we'll ever be short on content in our theaters. I just
Not while
think
we're alive, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't think it's going to
no,
go away that quickly. Eddie, I
no.
heard the same thing. He's talking about Matt Damon. I watched that clip. Um, yeah, I mean, Matt Damon basically said that disc sales made up for about half of the
Yes,
earnings. So there is
right.
there is a big
I saw
impact
that same clip. Yep.
on the industry, and they're not making that money in streaming like they were off disc sales. So something's got
Well,
to give here,
I
right?
don't. Well, I think that's a lot of what's being argued and what got debated in the last negotiations. Whether I'm unclear if they're completely over or they're signing or what they're doing, but I
Right.
think that's part of the difference between streaming and stuff. And that Matt Damon clip that we were just talking about, that's like what, like a year or so old, a couple of years
Yeah.
old, I think.
Yeah.
And it,
Yeah.
it was a great conversation that he had because they knew like, okay, we can make this up on the back end because the masses were buying. Like everybody was buying because streaming wasn't as prevalent. Netflix had pretty much Netflix originals and a few
Hmm.
other things. If you wanted your content, you went and bought it, and it was fairly cheap, 19.99 or something, right? And so they could make it up. But
Hmm.
now to say that streaming isn't a moneymaker, it might not be the moneymaker they wanted, but they have all these contracts to go. Like they're doing these Ryan Reynolds, Rock, the Rock's doing Dwayne Johnson. They're all doing
Yeah.
straight to Netflix. There's money there. They're making these action movies. The Russo brothers are doing Netflix movies direct to Netflix. So
Hmm.
while they might not, and I think that's part of what Damon was talking about in that, there's other avenues to go now. The landscape has changed. I don't think streaming ruined movies. I think streaming changed the business model of movies.
I would love to know the budget of those Netflix direct to Netflix films
Hmm.
versus a big studio release to theaters.
Yeah.
There's got to be a difference, right?
Uh, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that, I mean, it's, it's hard to tell.
It'd be nice to know. I'd be very
Yeah.
curious to.
Yeah. It's it's I don't know. I just think you see all the content. It's I mean, we talk about it every week. Three of us, and we can't keep up with all the content now.
Oh, there is a lot coming out.
Yeah.
There's
And
no
they
doubt
were all
about
just on strike. So we had time to catch
it.
up. It's like
Right.
now we're just going to get inundated again, And it's like we went through COVID, everything was shut down, and we were still having trouble keeping up.
Hmm.
There's only so much you can do, and it's like, and we always want more, we always want better. Um, and I think, like we said, we're lucky to have these systems, but we're also lucky to, I mean, we're living in a great time I mean, when you and I were growing up, it was like 3 channels and 2 UHF, and you had to get up and turn the knob. And if you were lucky enough, you didn't have to hold the antenna to get a good picture.
Hmm.
It's like, get the tinfoil.
It's
It's,
crazy right now. I just actually canceled cable, so I've
you
been a cable.
finally did?
Finally, did well.
Wow.
I'm holding on because it's only DirecTV satellite and cable up here. It's either Cox or Comcast is the only way to get access to the regional sports networks.
Yes. Mm.
So I can't watch baseball without
Have you
access.
have you checked out Fubo?
Doesn't have it.
Oh, it doesn't have
But
your area?
no, but DirecTV Stream
Mm,
does carry it. So I decided, all right, I'll do a little 7-day trial. And the picture quality is twofold of that of what I was getting through with my Comcast. So that alone, just on regular channels, that's enough right there just to, you know, cut it.
yeah.
But they give us access to the regional sports network here called Mazin, and so I'm super happy about that. But they also have 3 4K channels, and like right now they're showing the World Series in 4K, and it looks
Nice.
phenomenal. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I have
smitten. I'm going to save quite a bit of money also. So
when I cut the cord, I like 2 3 years ago, and I had Dish Network. I was paying like two and change for every channel on Dish, and at the
mhm.
time Disney Plus didn't exist. HBO, I had to get HBO because Dish had a contract dispute with them, so they stopped carrying HBO. So I had to carry a HBO app anyways. I had Netflix, Amazon, if that even existed. I think it did, but it came with Amazon Prime anyway, and Hulu, and that was it.
Uh-huh.
So I was paying my two. I think it was 225 for everything on Dish, and that included the boxes throughout my house.
Mhm.
So 225, and then that many streaming. So you're probably looking at like 250, right?
Yeah.
I dropped the 225. I picked up Fubo for $75.
And they
Actually,
have Nesson?
they have Nesson. Um, I picked that. It was 70 at the time, and during Red Zone, it was $10 to add Red Zone during the football season. So that was $80. I upped my internet to a full gig, and I was paying $70 a month for my internet on top of all of that because I didn't
Uh-huh.
have cable. So $70 a month for my internet. I went to for the gig. I went to 130. So I added $60 to my bill there, but going from 225 to the 80,
Mhm.
and then anytime a stream popped up, I was like, yeah, I'll get that. I just added it up the other day. I'm carrying Fubo, and I started carrying Sling because I wanted to watch 24 hours of A Christmas Story, and they didn't have it on Fubo. I'm paying $40 a month for Sling, and now it has NHL. I'm still $40 under what I was paying before with Dish, and I have
Wow.
every stream and everything. And it's like, I think where people are like, it's so expensive now. It's like, if you're still carrying cable, it is, but you don't need cable anymore. You can cut that and just do internet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a choice, like I said,
Yeah.
up until I don't know when DirecTV Stream started. Maybe I'm
Mm,
just ignorant and it's been around for a couple years. I have no idea, but I was, once again, like a couple weeks ago, desperately searching who's carrying Mazin, nobody.
mm.
And then all of a sudden, something about DirecTV Stream came on my Google machine, and lo and behold, they're
It's
the
the
only one to
sports
carry
that
Mazin.
kills
So
us though, right? I mean,
yeah, got to have the sports.
Ara and Braden were talking about it on their show, HD guys, I think last week, and they're like, and Ara's the same way. He's like, if he didn't follow the sports, his hockey, his football, and his baseball, he'd be
Mhm.
like, he's like, I could save probably $100 a month
Yeah.
because you just be like, I just do the shows I watch, and I don't even watch regular TV anymore. I mean, even Fubo, I'll like, I barely watch the news. I put it on for Nesson, which, like you were saying about, I get Nesson up here in 4K HDR.
Uh-huh.
It's a different channel, so you can go between the standard high def to the 4K, and it's nice. It's
It's
really
really
nice.
nice, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, especially for the hockey games. It looks, I mean, everything, the detail in the jerseys and stuff, and you can still see the puck pretty much the same, and it's like, but the ice gets a little brighter, so sometimes but it looks so good. And then obviously the baseball games are good.
Yeah.
Well, not the scores, but it looks nice.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm psyched. I'm psyched to finally be rid of cable.
Yeah.
Um, I actually bought 4 Apple TV 4K, you know, boxes for like
Yeah,
$250. Super
really?
cheap.
That's
They were
cheap.
refurb. Yeah, they were sold
Oh,
through,
okay.
I don't know,
Yeah.
something on eBay. They were all refurbs and they all work just fine.
I
So,
have, did you hear my story about my theater and trying out? I had my buddy, my IT guy. I think he's still in the chat. Joe, he was in the chat earlier. Joe Hotzel, and I actually my theater now has 2 Apple TV boxes in it.
oh,
Apple TV
why?
4K because I have a US, and I have another one set up on a VPN for UK, so I can get
Ah,
the Atmos that we don't get in the US on some movies,
you're
like
hardcore
Prey
DJ.
was. Yeah. Well, I was like, I was gonna set up like an AB thing, and then Joe and I are on the phone, and he goes, "Well, why don't you?" He was just busting my balls, and he's like, "Why don't you just put another 4K in the Apple 4K?" I was like, "I got another one up in my go bag." Okay.
In
It's
your
like,
go bag. I love it.
yeah,
But I'm
I do.
imagining
It's
like a jar of peanut butter, a wad of cash, some underwear, and your Apple TV 4K. Right?
well, I had the underwear, but I had to make room for the Apple TV 4K.
Right.
No, it's like because now ever since I used to have a Fire Stick in there, but Apple added in like you can access it from hotels and stuff. So I just threw an older brand, one of the other ones that I had in the bag, and it has everything in there, just like if you bought it, it's in the box. So I just
Uh-huh.
brought it downstairs, I plugged it in, and I was like, all right, there we go. And now I have 2 in the theater. So
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah, it
I
is cool.
probably need a third, right? For something. I don't know, a backup just in case one goes down.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have. I mean, the house, I have one in every room. I have one in
Yeah.
my gym. I have one in my bedroom, one in the living room. Um, that's it.
They're
Oh, my
really
son has one
fantastic
in his
devices.
room. Yeah, that's I. It's the most consistent to me, so that's the one I go with. Um,
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I had a Roku 4K
hmm
uh, streamer. It's around the same size. Maybe actually it's a little
Yeah,
bigger than the Apple TV 4K.
Braden
And
Russell from HT Guys swears by that one. He loves
well,
Roku.
I tried streaming this DirecTV stream through it, and it was just kind of clunky.
Mm.
It's just not as polished as the Apple TV, at least in my opinion. But I'm a big fan of Apple stuff, so
Yeah,
maybe I'm totally biased about
same here.
the kind of
Same
look and
here.
feel of everything. But
Yeah, as I sit with my Apple pods in my ear on my MacBook Pro and looking at my iPhone. Yeah, throwing a Roku in would kind of be like, which one doesn't belong, you know?
right, exactly.
It's like,
Well, I have one if you want to play around with it.
I got a Roku.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah, of course,
Why am I surprised?
of course. I had me and
Why am I
John at
surprised?
one time. I think this was. Remember when? Do you remember when Jack Ryan, the on Prime,
Yeah.
came out on Prime,
Hmm.
and it was supposed to be an Atmos? I bought every streaming stick out there to try and get Atmos on that, and it wasn't. It wouldn't come through Prime. It was so
Really?
finicky in the early days that I was like, I tried every Fire Stick, I tried every Roku. I was back and forth to Best Buy, like, okay, this one didn't work. Return this one. Try this one. Top of the line ones, Apple TVs, and nothing would pump out the Atmos. And it wasn't until I don't know, maybe a year ago or so that it finally worked. And then lo and behold, they dropped them both, the Jack Ryan's and Kaleidoscape. I was like, well, screw that crap. I'm just watching it.
Right. Just go right for Kaleidoscape.
Yeah,
I've got
exactly.
a Fire Stick somewhere up in this
Hmm.
mess of stuff. I've never actually. I played around with it a couple times and just
Yeah, my son has one on the
I don't
TV
know.
right outside this room here that he watches, and he likes it. He doesn't mind it. He likes
Hmm.
the Apple TVs too, but he knows that that's his like kind of couch area in the house right
That's
now
yeah.
till I
Yeah,
move
he's
out.
comfortable with using it,
Yeah, but
so
he
he
has
can
an
set
Apple
the bet.
TV in his room, so whatever.
He's cheating on it.
Yeah. Let's see. We got a few starred things in the chat here that I heck. Oh, Eddie with this comment. Some parts in the U.S. don't have broadband. Yep, that is correct, Eddie. I had a gentleman on my show a while back that we may be hearing from again soon. But he was on the show and he didn't have any internet at his house for like 7 years. So,
Starlink.
yep. Yeah. Well, that didn't exist then.
Yeah, it does now.
Yeah, exactly. Paul Hurt, this was going back to our time us being lucky. He says, a friend of mine works for Save the Children. We met while working for Amnesty. He's like, you need something to take your mind off the day job or you lose it. HT is my distraction. And I think it is for all of us.
Yep.
It's so, yeah. So, yeah.
I agree, Paul. You got to have distractions because,
Yes.
yeah,
You go bonkers.
yep.
Go bonkers. So, but yeah. So, all right. Well, we've done our preview hour.
Yeah. So, what else are we going to preview before we shut this down? Is there any? Are you going to drop any like little?
I don't know.
Hooks?
What can I drop?
I
How
don't
do I
know.
drop a hook? I'm doing 25 hours. That wasn't enough.
What are we going to talk about to open the show?
I don't know. I don't know. I see. That's. I will say this. The fun part that I like about my show, that I like about our show, is that it's not scripted, right? And it's like we don't know what we're gonna say. It's like, and that's what I think keeps it fun. It's like it's no different. When I met you in Denver, that was no different than us jumping on here and laughing and having a good time.
Right.
I mean, you can't shake hands and hug, but it was the same thing, right? We were just as comfortable there. And I think that's what it's like for all the people coming on, all the people I've met through this. Now I've been fortunate enough to meet a few of you guys now in person and knowing like all the people I've met, all the people that are going to be on Saturday. Everybody that's on Saturday has been on the show before, with the exception of one person. Two people fresh on Saturday.
Is one Mike Tyson?
No. Mike Tyson, where did that come from?
I don't know. I just thought that would kind of be a cool guest.
Yeah, that would be. I tried. Mike Tyson, what is this, The Hangover?
Exactly.
Oh my God. Oh geez. Yeah, no, I wish. No, but you know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. It's like 6 a.m. Saturday morning, Friday morning, Saturday, whichever one we do. I don't know. We only have, and here's the thing, Todd. We only have an hour.
Yeah.
And then I'm on to the next guest. And I think
that's an hour in DJ's world is like literally 10 minutes.
I know.
Right?
Yeah. Yes. It really is. It just flies by. And I think that's what, hey, Fred 215. Hey, buddy.
Oh, Eddie, the Ascendo sub. Oh.
Yeah, we could talk about that. But again, we only have an hour.
I got to tell you guys something. That thing is sitting.
You can do it here. Yeah.
Dormant in my home theater room. I just moved back into my house.
That's not good for a sub.
I know. We've been out of our house for ended up being about 9 weeks.
That's the one you were telling me about in Denver, right? Or is that another speaker set that you've had sitting there? You're not even sure they carry anymore.
I don't know. No, the Ascendo sub is the big infrasonic sub.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, that was another set. You said you had a review to do, and you're like, I don't even know if they carry this anymore.
Yeah, I do have.
Because you get behind on stuff, right? We were laughing about projects we're trying to do.
I did. We keep taking on more. It would have been 2022. I had some medical issues that I had I don't know, maybe 5 pieces of gear here. And I just reached out to the company as I was like, look, I've got to concentrate on myself here for a little bit. And I'm sorry. And there's 2 of those pieces are still here. They've probably forgotten at this point. Still going to review them, but their relevancy is definitely not quite what it is, but the Ascendo sub is very relevant. I have
Yeah.
hopefully a meeting coming up next week to try and get it set up. But what happened was we were going to get it set up, and I need their help to do it. They're going to help me do it remotely. And the week that we scheduled to get it done, we all of a sudden were going to have a deck built on the back of our house. And this was not done by misplanning. It's just the deck company that we had contracted with all of a sudden contacted me and said, we're coming next. I don't know. It was like next Tuesday. And I was like, okay, that's not going to help me out with calibrating the system. And it took them about a week to build the deck. And by the time they were done, the guys at Ascendo and the guys at Storm Audio, they were all prepping for Cedia. And they were like, yeah, we don't have time. We'll do it after Cedia. And then, well, DJ, you know this, all of a sudden our house, the rest of our construction project, we were renovating our house, started happening, and we moved out of our house, and there was just no way to come into the house and do it. Well, I mean, it was just a mess of dust and loud noise. We had all our floors ripped up, and it's just been a very long process. We're back now, but the sub is still sitting in the same exact place it was embarrassingly pre-Cedia. So it's crazy. I can't believe it's sitting there not working, but it
Well,
is.
yeah. You'll get to it. You'll
I'll
get to it.
I
And the
cannot
neighborhood will know.
wait. Yes. In the year 2027.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's the long story of the short of it all.
yeah. Oh, so I'll have to ask him later. You can. So Chris said in the chat, he said, "Hey Fred," and I replied to him in the chat, "Do you know what that means, Chris?" And because I say it at the end of the show, it's
Oh.
"Hey Fred Productions,"
Mm-hmm.
and I say "Hey Fred." It's at the end of every show. But I don't know if Chris knows what that "Hey Fred" story is. I've told it on that show before. I haven't told it in a while. So maybe I'll save that for Saturday as well. The "Hey Fred" story. That's pretty good. You don't, you might remember.
I don't
You,
know it, but
yeah.
I'm assuming you're going to tell it maybe what 3 a.m. Saturday night,
No,
Sunday morning.
no, probably it'll be during the day.
Okay.
But it'll be, yeah, I'll tell it at some point, I'm sure.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a good one. It's actually a good one. When people hear it. So, I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, I like I said, I'm not nervous about getting through it. I'm not nervous about guests. I'm excited for all of that. It's the tech that we all have to deal with,
Yeah.
and and I'm not even nervous about that. I'll just be disappointed if it gets shortened or something because of internet issues or and I'll be doing everything to try and I'll get it going one way or another. I'll be on my phone. Like,
Yeah, I was going to say use your phone as a hotspot. You probably could
yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I would end up doing. I'd have to, and being able to have the three going, I could just, even if one shut down early enough, I could just go to the next one and be like, pick it up here. So we'll always have that to do. So, but we will keep it going, and one way or another.
can't wait.
Yeah. So Saturday morning, 6 a.m. It's funny, I had some things planned. I'll talk about it in the show that I'm not even doing now. The show's going to be so busy and we're going to have so much fun with so many people that I didn't even have time. I'm like, it wouldn't even be fair to move these things in, but I'll talk about them in the show. Maybe you and I can talk about one at the beginning,
Sure.
and maybe it'll be something we can do in the future. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, people saying in the chat like, "Wow, we flew through this hour," and like just another 24 to go. Actually, it's another 25. But I do have. I'll show you. I got some banners lined up. I can preview those. So I got this. Um, that's the 25. So this one will go. Checking out the 24-hour live stream. Only 24 hours left, and then we'll go to the next hour. Only 23 hours left.
Oh gosh.
And
You're
then
gonna torture
then
yourself.
well, no, and that's what's funny. And
Oh,
then I have the other. Well, this one here was for today, but I didn't put it up. It says only 25 hours to go. So that one I'm just going to edit, and it'll be at the beginning of the show when we go live. And then I'll go 24 hours, 23. And I showed that to John and Steve after the show the other day. And Steve's like, "You're going in the wrong direction. You got to count up." So I'm like, "No, he goes, it's so like daunting to be looking at 24 hours ago." I go, "Yeah, and if I'm gassed at the 1 hour mark, I shouldn't be doing this." I go, "But if you're counting down and it says only 2 hours to go, that's encouragement as opposed to looking at you've gone 24 hours." So you're like, ugh. So yeah, you always want to count down. Only 1 hour to go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You need to get some like lifesavers. I don't know, something to keep you from getting like a dry mouth.
Yes,
You're gonna
I know.
stay
Lots of
hydrated.
water. I'll have gallons of water with me. I'll have, yeah, lifesavers or mints or something. And so, yeah, it's
Can't wait.
are you an endurance athlete at all? I've met you. I've seen you. We've got pictures of us together, and you're
Am I
like
an endurance
Hulk. And
athlete?
yeah,
No. I mean,
by your build,
I
I would say no.
I work out like 2.5 hours a day, but I'm not particularly training for anything, just for
Right,
life.
right. But have you ever
So I
done any endurance stuff before? Any endurance long races, anything like
Nope,
that? That's
nope.
See,
I
I
probably
love
could.
those things. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do some adventure racing,
Yeah.
things like that. Like I don't mind getting uncomfortable. You know,
Oh yeah.
I like to wear myself out, but
That's
no,
how
pretty
you
much
feel.
now I just work out this, for life. That's
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of if you're not doing it, especially with um what I do. I mean, I don't have a physical job, but I'm on my own all day outside every day. And it's if
yeah,
you're not in decent shape, you're just going to get run down. And I don't have a boss. So if I feel tired and I don't want to work, guess what? I'm broke.
right, exactly. Yeah, you must burn a lot of calories every day.
Oh yeah, I just walk every day. That's
Yeah.
all I do. I'm walking cars back, getting cars, moving cars, getting cars, moving cars. I used to have a Fitbit on me tracking my footsteps, and my
Uh-huh.
sister gave it to me. And we would we got into this group because she gave it to me, and they, all you become friends, and we all became friends. And these are all people that have office jobs in Boston, and they're all tracking me, and they're like, "How are you doing this and this?" A couple of them would start training for different things, and they're like, "I'm catching up to you." This one guy's like catching up to me, and he's like, I've almost got you, Deej, for steps in a day, Todd. And the guy was training for a marathon. he's like, I almost got you. But to his credit, his job is to sit down in an office all day. So he's getting all these steps in and doing that. I'm taking the whole day and basically, all I do is walk around all day. So it's like my steps in the day are, that's all I do. But
Yeah.
they're like, I'm trying to catch you. Like, you had to run a marathon to do it. It's like, okay. But,
No, you'll be all the better for it. I mean, staying active is so important.
oh, yeah. Yeah. That's right. I mean, yeah, we should do one of those someday. Dare me. Go ahead. We'll do it together.
What, home theater or what?
We'll
Adventure
do
race?
some kind of, yeah, just pick an adventure. I told you the 24-hour mountain biking race I was going to do by myself. Um,
Man, if I
but
was a
yeah,
biker,
yeah. Well, that's what I do. Biking. All that stuff. Biking, running, swimming, all that stuff.
isn't the guy that runs the Spartan races up in New Hampshire?
What about them?
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Not the one. What do you mean runs the Spartan races? Like, oh,
The guy
like
that
the Tough
organizes it.
Mudder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he
I
bought.
did a Tough Mudder.
I think he purchased them. He bought
Oh,
them out.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know that I've never done a Spartan race, but it's similar to the Tough Mudder.
Yeah.
I did the Tough Mudder at Mount Snow, I think it was. That was pretty good. That was a
Yeah.
fun race. Um, yeah, they have like this big giant, it was probably 40 feet long above ground pool filled with ice. It's just all like they just take the snow from the mountain because it was in the spring, so there's still snow, and they just fill the top of it, so it's all like icebergs and stuff in the top, and you've got to jump in, and they have a barrier and two barriers in the middle, so you have to go under the barrier, swim under it, come up, swim under it, and come up, and I just dove
Woo!
in and swam to the other end and got out. It was pretty funny. It's like um, they have a wall. You have to climb this 10-foot wall and then jump and this is up towards the top of the mountain. You run up a 10-foot wall, and then there's a platform at the top, and then you got to jump off into the water below. So I picked one where there wasn't a line so that I'd be able to run up, get to the platform, and then just jump off. But the thing is it was a 10-foot wall from the ground, but the ground was like another 10 or 15 feet from the water. So when you went up the 10-foot wall, I was already, and the guy's waving me on, the safety guy. He's like, go. So I was just going to run like, me, like, hey, Navy SEAL, here I come. Whoa. It was like, I got to the edge. I was like, holy crap, that's far down. I was like, whoa.
Yes. Can you hear the sound effects?
Yeah, it was like, and I was like, and then there I am, like, all right. And I did the like wimpy thing. I sat down on the edge and just shoved myself in like that extra 2 feet or like
Yeah.
6 feet of my head. Who
Right.
cares, right? But it made a difference. I jumped in that water. That
Psychologically.
water was freezing cold. Felt like razor blades on you because
Take your
it
breath
was
away,
like
huh?
legit. Oh yeah, you hit that water and you're like, get me above water quick, and then you had to swim
Yeah.
to the other side, and it was like, and that's why I realized there was no line where I went. It was on the far end from where you had to swim out. So I had to swim like an extra 40 feet
Oh, that's
compared to
great.
everybody else in the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, good times.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. DJ and Tom Andre Criterion race. Tom and I are going to get together on a ride someday. We keep talking about it. He does a lot of cycling.
Oh, cool.
So, but, all right. Well, you went over your hour, Todd.
Yeah, I know. It's my bedtime.
There you
I
go.
actually have to go get my dogs out since my wife's been away all week. She comes home tomorrow. So this is kind of my last hurrah of having to take care of everything on the home front. So
Oh, okay.
get them
Yeah, you're
out.
like empty nesters now, or semester empty nesters, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. We're empty nesters. And then now I guess I'm the empty nesty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're a rooster all alone,
That's exactly right.
and you'll be
Stuck in paradise all by myself.
Yeah, and, and the Ascendo's not working. What the hell?
Oh, so pathetic. Yeah, I know. A lot of people have given me grief about it, and
No,
I'm trying.
it's not like you're not doing anything else.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think the last, I'd say 2.5 weeks, I've done minimal work.
oh, good for you.
Just trying to, just moving back into our house. It's almost like what we did was essentially moving out and moving back in with the amount of
Yeah.
stuff that left and the amount of stuff that came back in. So it's been a lot to tackle, but first world problems, right?
Yeah,
Not really
but
complaining.
you work hard. I saw it firsthand. I mean, obviously I'd talked to you for a few years before I saw you in
Yeah. Oh,
in
thanks, yeah.
Denver, and
Yeah.
then watching you work firsthand. The few times I got to actually see you on the floor, but that's the point. Is like you're constantly moving, setting up, and doing the content that you do. It's not easy. And then like we talked when you came home, and you're still putting out content. Like, what? A couple weeks later, you're still putting things together.
It
So
was like 30. I put out like 34 CD of
yeah,
videos.
yeah,
I
good
need to
stuff
figure out how to
too.
streamline it and make it easier to get
I
up. It's
know.
just a lot of editing and just
I know. And you know what? I'll bet you there's a lot easier ways. We just don't know them. But we're too busy plugging away doing what we do to learn
well,
the
I
new
know
ways.
what some people do is they hand someone a microphone and just record the person talking, right?
Yeah, I like your way better.
Yeah, I do too. It's
I
way more
like your
fun
way.
too.
It's more fun. It's more personal. I think the people respond to that better because some of those people shouldn't be handed a microphone and just put a camera in their face.
Right. It's so true.
It's like some of them can do it, some people can do it, but other people, it's just like, uh-oh, they're like all stiffened up.
Yeah, I
And
mean, they don't like it. It's
yeah,
much easier to approach someone, knowing that they're going to do something with you and they know that you're going to be standing beside them to kind of
right.
kick it
Exactly.
off and lead them along.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I like I like what you do. It's more
Well, thank
personal
you.
that way, and I think you get more out of the people too.
Yeah, it's more fun. And,
Yeah.
it.
And I know you're a camera hog. You love being in front of the camera.
Oh, yeah, that's my personality. Yes.
Peek behind the curtain about an hour before we started tonight. Can we do audio only, please? I was like, no. Well,
It's
you
no
could have,
secret. I'm
but
a little introverted, but
we all are.
yeah, I mean, I tonight was just a matter of me, like right now, this is my iPhone
Yeah. Looks
camera
great though.
up here down, streaming or hooked up to my computer using something called Camo,
Yeah.
CAMO. I just all of a sudden I was like, I don't know where my gear is. And then I was hoping you were going to say, "Oh yeah, you just need a microphone." Of course, all my microphones stink. I don't know how my voice sounds today. Is it
That was fine. Yeah, it's great.
no
And
crackles?
again, that's a lot of what I want for Saturday too. It's like we're going to have technical issues. People are going to have, not
Yeah.
everybody's going to have the same connection. And that's part of the charm of everything, it's all real. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm in the room here. I'm going to do some of it from in here on Saturday. I'll be some of it from my studio. My studio.
Yeah.
It's literally a closet under the stairs, kind of.
You almost need
Um,
to set up a camera with a like a treadmill or something and just walk for 24 hours while you talk.
what? It's not enough
Just
I'm
saying.
talking
I
for
mean, I just
24. Now you are turning it into an endurance race. Here we go. 20 hours to go. I got water bottles going. I got people. It's like the marathon. I'm gonna have people standing there like pretending to be like going by me, handing me bottles of water, throwing
have your
drinks in
wife
my
come in.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, throwing drinks in my face. You go.
Well, we'll see if you let me in on the studio an hour 25 or not. Maybe you'll just be like, "No, you're dead to me."
You're dead to me.
I hate you, Anderson.
I think it's funny. I'm gonna remember your name.
Right. Whoever told me to do this,
I have it written down here.
you're out of my
I
life
don't even
forever.
know who's up next. Who are you? First
Awesome.
time, long time. It's TA. It's like, oh, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna, yeah. A treadmill desk keeps you healthy. I do have a standing desk. I have a rising desk, so we'll
So do
probably
I.
see that going. The problem is the background behind me doesn't rise. So I have my poster in one position. I'll be like, hang on. And I gotta raise my poster because I'm like anal like that. I have to
Do
have
you
it
have a green
looking right.
screen?
I do, but the I tried it out and it was pretty good. And then I thought it was pretty good when I was watching the stream, and then I went back and watched it, and it takes so much data from this app to use it that it doesn't look it kind of makes it go wonky. So I'm just like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because it ruins the entire picture, and it's like, I mean, I don't want to sully this beautiful mug.
No,
So
yeah, of course not.
it's like I should actually
I'll
be
blame
like this.
Right.
League of their own. And on second base is DJ.
Yeah.
So
Awesome,
all
brother.
right. Sounds good. I can't
All right,
wait.
man.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Todd. Can't wait to see you. 6 a.m. Bright eyed and bushy tailed.
6 a.m. Saturday.
6 a.m. Saturday. 25 hours, and you'll be popping in during the day, right? You're gonna
Yeah.
pop in, say hi. You'll have you get to do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. If
so
you want me
wherever,
to, I will.
wherever, whenever you just want to pop in and check on me, nudge me a little bit, keep me awake, bust my balls, do whatever. That's fun. That's what I'm expecting. We do have people that'll be doing that throughout the day that couldn't make an hour, so they're just gonna stay high. But you can certainly do that. I'll give you the
Awesome.
links. So,
Awesome.
all right.
Can't wait,
So
man.
yeah, why don't you think about what you want to talk about for that 1 hour? Because it's only an hour, Todd.
I don't know, guys. What do you think? Does anybody have any opinions about what we should talk about?
Yeah.
I mean, home theater,
Oh, we'll hit some remote
remote
base
base shaker
shaker work.
working.
Yeah. In my room, I don't have base shakers.
I
I
do.
have good bass in my room. You do?
Yeah, I have both.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we talk about that? Write that in your
Sure.
notes. I want to hear that. You're gonna add the Ascendo. You have bass shakers. You
I have
have
both
incredible
those.
bass in your room.
Yep. Yeah, I have base shakers in the seats.
Well, I figured that's where they were. Put one under my projector because it adds to the ambience of the
Oh,
room.
right.
Ah! Oh, Joe, no, to
Exactly.
keep you awake. Yeah, I thought that's what you were saying, Joe. Yeah, no, to keep you awake. No, no, I don't need anything like that. No, it's gonna be
Invite you
fun.
over. Boy, what kind of trouble could we get into if I invited everybody over?
Uh,
Honey,
I
welcome home. Guess what?
that's um speaking of that. But yeah, all right, maybe something else we could talk about Saturday. So, all right, we'll leave it there for now. We are done. We are out. I don't have my board here, so John can't tell you to go press play. So I will tell everybody else to go press play. But see us Saturday morning, 6 a.m. Feel free to tune in whenever you want. I'll be there for 24 hours, 25 hours. Todd will be there for 2 of those. But yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks everybody in the chat. Thank you, Todd. Oh man, Saturday can't come fast enough.
I
Go
know.
push
Yep.
play. Thanks, buddy.
Later.